Well, with the teams tied at 1 goal apiece from the first leg in the Grünwald Stadium, Munich, 2 weeks ago, the Kaiser, aka Franz Beckenbauer, brings his German side to Ibrox, intent in reaching the European Cup. Winners' Cup final scheduled a month from now in May. Rangers, they may just have something to say about who makes that big final. 1972, a team of Rangers about to become legends. But some work to be done. Bayern Munich in their change kit of all white tonight, while Rangers sporting blue shorts to match their blue tops and red and white socks. It's a capacity Ibrox crowd. As Matheson for Johnston. Back to Matheson again. Early delivery, layoff from Steen, support again. Alec McDonald, always busy. Clever ball. Willie Johnson, cut back across the face of goal. And Bayern defend with real determination. As Rangers press the ball again, Alex McDonald into the mix, and there's Beckenbauer. So cool under pressure. Thumps it clear. Only as far as Derek Johnston. Now Sandy Jardine. Bringing it in his left foot. Jardine! Oh, it's moved in the air. Setmeyer deceived. 45 seconds on the clock. Ibrox erupts. What a start for Rangers. Look at the smiling face. The youngster, Parlane, on his European debut, acknowledges the fans in Ibrox tonight. But the goal from Sandy Jardine gives Rangers the advantage so early in the second leg of the semi-final of the 1972 European Cup Winners' Cup. Free kick awarded against Colin Steen. Now the Germans want to hit back as quickly as they can. Hansen with the ball into the danger area, squeezed away by Dave Smith, sporting the captain's armband tonight in the absence of John Gregg. The atmosphere inside Ibrox, absolutely electrifying. Another free kick conceded. Derek Parlane just late in the challenge on Hansen, who's stayed in a very advanced area. A dream start for Willie Waddle and Jock Wallace, of course. But they have some defending to do here. And there he comes to claim it. Well, Peter McCloy, very determined, but are pushing inside the box along the way. And the referee happy to award the free kick in favour of Rangers. Rangers just want to perhaps slow down the pace of the game here, and you can understand why the Germans will be so determined to get back into this match as quick as they can. It's not been easy to get to this stage of the tournament, and of course it's only 5 years ago that Bayern Munich beat Rangers in a European final. And Hansen again. Schwarzenbeck always dropping off. It's a poor final ball that Tommy McLean is happy to pick up for Rangers. Willie Matheson popping up on the right flank. More noted for his activities on the left side. Another free kick in favour of Rangers. Schwarzenbeck just late on Steen. And Matheson, good change of pace. This shows too much of it to Franz Beckenbauer, although Derek Johnson might fancy this one. He's forced wide. Support from Willie Johnston. Oh, he's always got a trick up his sleeve. And he does well to win Rangers their first corner of the evening. And just look at the fans behind that goal. What a view they must have had of Sandy Jardine's opener as Willie Johnson gets ready to pop this one into the mix. So two-footed as well. Near post. And it's Breitner protecting his goalkeeper there. And Rangers have yet another chance to deliver from the corner. Not a seat to be had, and it's standing room only as we look across to the Govan stand. Johnson again. Colin Steen! He's rattled the woodwork there. Well, the first man to move within Scottish football for £100,000 on the end of the delivery from Willie Johnson. A thundering header, timed to perfection, and it's within an inch of Rangers getting their second. And again, out comes Sepp Maier. This time, he leaves nothing to chance. Aware that Steen had won the aerial battle against his centre-backs, Maier comes out to make the save himself. Given away by Hansen. Now Tommy McLean. Breitner defends well. Schwarzenbeck takes over. Breitner infield for the Kaiser. Rangers defending in quite a high area. Certainly confident at the moment. Bayern so adept with the ball on the deck. Beckenbauer creeps forward again. Tries to release Honus in the danger area. Parlane can't get anything on the header. And the ball threaded into the box from Roth goes astray. McLean caught in possession. Chased by Uli Hoeneß. Breitner. And the goalkeeper elects to leave this one to Alec MacDonald. And MacDonald does so well. And Johnson again. He started this game as if that ball is tied to his boot. Slaloming his way into the Bayern danger area and just loses his footing at a crucial moment. But support's there from Parlane. And Colin Steen again. Schwarzenbeck tries to offer some resistance. The Rangers have really started this game brightly. Jardine, the goal scorer for Matheson. Back in the left foot, takes a deflection. Cleared only as far as Tommy McLean. Well, he's not a noted goal scorer, Tommy McLean. Didn't get much time to set himself, but his drifting effort just over the crossbar. Sepp Maier, known as Die Kants in Germany, quite simply the cat. Another crunching tackle there, ensuring that they don't get it all their own way. The pace of the game just dropped momentarily. A wonderful start for Rangers though, opening the scoring with the game less than a minute old. Thoughts are drifting to Barcelona. And Willie Johnston. On the decoy run is Sandy Jardine. Layoff from Alec MacDonald. Chipped in again, the free header, Tommy McLean. No one comes near post. Real variation in the Rangers build up, you see. Alec MacDonald normally operating left hand side, popping up on the right. And Tommy McLean switching wings with the former St Johnstone man. Bayern struggling to come to terms with the way Rangers have shaped up for tonight. And of course Derek Parlane in midfield, given the responsibility to Mark Franz Roth in the side tonight because of the injury to John Gregg. Catching Schneider there. Free kick to Bayern. And again Derek Johnston, so adept either at centre back or centre forward, as Uli Hoeneß later to become the Bayern general manager, of course. Wonderful opportunity to reflect on this European Cup Winners' Cup semi-final, second leg at Ibrox. Rangers versus the giants of German football, Bayern Munich. Fully 40 years ago. Wonderful memories. And Willie Matheson. Born in Cardenden in Fife. Alec MacDonald with a clever ball. A wonderful angled run. Derek Parlane getting beyond the strikers. The execution in the final ball from Alex MacDonald just inching away from the Rangers youngster. He was only 18 years of age on this huge night of Scottish footballing history. Now Beckenbauer. Zobel, who was involved in the goal in the first leg, converting a Collenstein effort behind his own goalkeeper, ensuring Rangers left Bavaria with a share of the spoils. And there is Rangers equal to Beckenbauer. Dave Smith, such a cool and composed character. A wonderful, naturally gifted footballer. However, for the moment, we've seen nothing of the legend that is Gerd Müller in a striking role for Bayern so far. Says a lot about the way the shackles have been applied to their top scorer in the form of Colin Jackson, supported by Derek Johnson and of course Dave Smith in the sweeper's role. We've played 10 minutes. Tonight Rangers have McCloy in goal, the defensive formation of Colin Jackson, Dave Smith and Derek Johnson. The wing backs are Sandy Jardine and Willie Matheson. Tommy McLean, Derek Parley and Alex McDonald in midfield. And the exciting front pairing of Collenstein and Willie Johnson, just as Willie Johnson gets clipped by Koppenhofer. Back to his feet, smile on his face as well. He always did play the game with a real passion and tenacity. Terrorised many a full-back, Willie Johnston. Steen pops it back in again. Colin Jackson in a very advanced area. Tommy McLean can't get the telling touch. And Bayern have just not really got going. Probably largely down to the fact that Rangers just haven't let them. In the box again, and the target was undoubtedly Collenstein. Set Meyer to be so lively. Hansen. Hoeneß will not keep this one in play. And you see, wherever Hoeneß goes, the shadow, Dave Smith, follows him over every blade of grass on Ibrox. The Bayern side, 6 of whom are to go to Wembley within a couple of weeks of their visit to Ibrox, beat England 3-1 on their home turf. McLean round the corner from Steen. Goalscorer Jardine. Wrong angle this time, but a very similar setup. Steen wins the header, claiming he was being pushed at the time. In fact, it was Willie Johnston climbing with the centre back. The German side tonight: Meyer, Hansen, Schwarzenbeck, Beckenbauer, Breitner, Schneider, Zobel, Roth, Koppenhofer, Müller and Hoeneß. Offside goes against Uli Hoeneß. And just looking back to that 1967 final, it was Roth who got the only goal of the game in added on time. The only goal coming in 109 minutes after a goalless 90 minutes. That final played in Nuremberg, perhaps giving a slight advantage to the German side. And from that night, Sandy Jardine, Dave Smith and Willie Johnston all playing this evening. Looking for some revenge. It's Alec McDonald with the snapshot. Sepp Meyer. He's not had a happy evening so far, has he?
Folge seiner Verletzung aus dem Bundesligaspiel gegen Werder Bremen. Und nach dem Fiasko in Köln sind die Bayern heilfroh, dass ihr Sepp wieder dabei ist.
44,000 who are at the Grunwald Stadium for the first leg. Almost double that here in Ibrox. Sandy Jardine, very determined, holds off the challenge. Tries to just pop it in behind for the movement of Collenstein. For a partnership, Steen and Johnson are. And I think we all remember what happened next when Rangers ultimately made that final in Barcelona.
Sie sehen, die Schotten spielen technisch nicht gerade brillant, aber sie
Derek
setzen sich
Parlin.
durch. Sie sind stark im Zweikampf. Möglichkeit.
It's a late run. Tommy McLean again just getting on the end of the delivery from young Parlin.
Edgar Schneider.
Glances his header wide of the target.
Ersatzmann für Krauthausen.
Beckenbauer struggling to get his team into any form of rhythm. Schwarzenbeck driving forward, unchallenged. And again, the final ball from the Munich side tonight hasn't really troubled Rangers so far. We've got 15 minutes played. It seems almost like an eternity since Sandy Jardine broke the deadlock with less than 60 seconds on the clock.
Ein weiter Abschlag von Torwart McCloy. Zeigt, wie stark hier der Wind ist. Der schottische Ball
Matt continues to elect to bowl it out rather than go route one.
Freistoß. Schiedsrichter Francesco sehr korrekt.
Quickly taken free kick from Honus. Breitner. Again, Müller just struggling for any service. A perfectly weighted pass from Dave Smith. Schwarzenbeck just lifts it off the toe of Steen. It's gone strangely quiet at the moment from the home support as Willie Johnson tries to wind up the long one. He's got the goalkeeper on the back foot, but he gathers unchallenged. Again, Parlin, so adept at breaking up the Bayern play, picks it up yet again, playing with maturity beyond his years. And of course, we know he went on to be a striker by trade, a midfield role in this huge fixture. His first taste of European football for Derek Parlin. Now Beckenbauer, 103 caps he amassed over the years for Germany. Now Gerd Müller. Again, well defended by Rangers. Derek Johnston, another youngster, of course, in the side. Only 18 years of age on the date of this fixture.
Edgar Schneider.
Again, Jardine matching stride for stride the movement of his opponent. Down the line there.
Einwurf für die Bayern.
Franz Rott, who scored in the 67 final.
Breitner und Colin Steen.
Steen back in an area to support his midfielders.
Das Spiel der Bayern ist etwas ruhiger geworden. Sie spielen mit. Sie sind durch dieses frühe 1:0 keineswegs geschockt.
Good defending from Bayern, but again, Rangers pouncing on anything that's 50-50 in midfield.
Sehr schön gemacht jetzt diese Abwehraktion von Zobel. Johnny Hansen, Ballschlepper im Mittelfeld.
Hansen for Honus.
Koppenhöfer
coming in from his wide left roll. Again, Parlin so quick to press the ball. It's off the toe of Dave Smith. Slack defending for perhaps the first time this evening. Problem here for Sandy Jardine. Bit of a clash of heads. Sandy Jardine will need some treatment here. He's played in every game leading up to this semi-final clash, Sandy Jardine. Looks as if he's going to need some treatment here. Some anxious glances from his teammates. Looks to have landed awkwardly on the shoulder. Rangers physio Tommy Craig comes across to check out Jardine. Jardine actually made his Rangers debut February 1967 as a centre-half against Hearts, a team he was later to serve as a player and assistant manager. Is there a hint of a magic sponge there? Sandy Jardine, good to go, back to his feet. And Dave Smith gives it back to the man who was known as the Girvan Lighthouse. Alec McDonald. Steen just getting there ahead of Schwarzenbeck, but the ball to the flank, picked off by Paul Breitner. Schwarzenbeck again, he's given licence to drive forward from his defensive duties. Perfectly timed tackle yet again. Matheson. And again, real determined defending from Rangers. Matheson staying tight to Uli Hoeneß at the expense of a corner. McCloy wanted it, claimed it, and got it. Dave Smith signed from Aberdeen. So clever in possession as well. A bargain buy, £50,000 in 1966. It's Tommy McLean, who himself experienced European football at a tender age. As a teenager, played for Kilmarnock against Real Madrid. Free kick Rangers. Willie Johnson suggesting that that's not 10 yards. Fights her in. And an easy take for Sepp Maier. Schneider, just touch heavy, runs it out of play. Zobel defends against Jardin. Derek Johnson fails to keep it in play. Beckenbauer against Schwarzenbeck. He finds it out. He's picked off again by Parlane. No free kick this time. Driven effort. Well defended by Rangers. And Jardin again. Now Willie Matheson again popping up on the right flank. He does well to dig out the delivery. Oh, under pressure. Good defending, Kopenhofer. He had to be alert to Willie Johnson, looking for any error. Right on his shoulder. Teasing delivery from Willie Matheson from right to left. As Steen readies himself for the delivery from his teammate Willie Johnston. On the goalkeeper, and again Rangers capitalise. Problems for Maier. It's all about the desire of Steen, but the finish from the youngster Derek Parlane doubles Rangers lead. 23 minutes played at Ibrox. He didn't need a second invitation, did he? Derek Parlane on his European debut. It's Rangers 2, Bayern Munich 0. Well, he was a surprise selection, but the finish was that of an absolute veteran. So wounded and hurt, Bayern try and get back in the game. 2-0 down. Hansen with the deep delivery. Towering, clearing header, Derek Johnson. Free kick. Breitner wants to get on with business. Müller drops off. Jackson tighter than two coats of paint to the legendary Bayern striker. Now Schwarzenegger again. It's a sloppy delivery, but Rangers don't get it clear yet. Alec McDonald, he's getting in about players, tries to get Rangers going from mid to front. All the way back, it's now with Beckenbauer. After Zobel had intervened for Bayern. And again, it's Kopenhofer. And again, Parlane takes some pressure off his defence. As you see, Rangers with everyone behind the ball at the moment to protect that 2-goal advantage. We're just beyond the halfway point of the first period. Bayern were desperately keen to get back in this one. Parlin again with a clearing header round about the penalty spot. Zubel. Beckenbauer. Again, first to react is Derek Parlin. Adrenaline pumping for the youngster. Beckenbauer.
Müller von 2 Mann gedeckt.
Hoeneß just knocks it in. There's no takers in a white shirt. As Rangers trying to control the pace of the game at the moment. McCloy wants it hurried. Dave Smith suggesting Rangers should just slow down, conserve some energy, keep the football. Unorthodox but effective from Dave Smith. I don't think we would see much of that in the modern game. And variety as it's pumped along by McCloy and Colin Steen, chasing every lost cause. And the home fans are in good voice, quite rightly so, with their team 2 goals to the good against Bayern Munich in what is Rangers' 14th ever European campaign. Glory in Barcelona, a reality. A battle of the 11s, and it's the one in blue who comes off best on this occasion. Willie Johnson directing traffic. Sandy Jarden takes instruction from his skipper. Sandy Jarden, of course, a legend then, a legend now, 40 years on, still involved at this football club.
Spielfeldrand auf der Höhe der Mittellinie erkenne ich Paul Breitner. Muss behandelt werden. Der Masseur ist bei ihm.
That's wonderful football from Rangers. Real quality in possession, accuracy of passing. As Rangers' own bomber, they've got their bomber in the form of Müller. They've got Bomber Jackson for Rangers going long as McLean just picked off by Beckenbauer. And now the aforementioned Bomber Jackson has a lot of yards to cover to get back and do his main principal role of defending. However, Matheson, he gets back, albeit at the expense of the corner. No takers. Merest of touches of Müller might have caused problems, but he was well marshalled. Now Steen, throw in Rangers. The other semi-final is Dynamo Berlin versus Dynamo Moscow. And as we all now know, it was the Moscow version of Dynamo who made the final. Both semi-finals between Berlin and Moscow finishing 1 goal apiece. And Moscow, they booked a place in the Camp Nou on the 24th of May 1972 with a 4-1 penalty win. Wonderful skills from Sandy Jarden. McLean. Late challenge perhaps on Tommy McLean as Willie Johnson had gone fractionally early. On the way to this tie tonight, Steaua Bucharest, Liverpool and TJ Skoda of the then Czechoslovakia eliminated on the route through this semi-final. There's a change enforced in the Bayern side. Frustration for their skipper Beckenbauer. They've lost the services of the very busy Paul Breitner down the left-hand side. Rybarczyk, his replacement. Peter McCloy signed from Motherwell. Steen, the lone attacker.
Koppenhöfer und Roth.
It's Derek Parlin who puts some pressure on the defenders. There's Beckenbauer again. Again, Rangers defend so tidily.
McLean und
Clean
Johnny
cut
Hansen.
possession. Now Hansen, who's popping up left flank since Breitner left the field. And Sandy Jardine, so mature, so alert, doesn't dive in. Just makes defending into an art for him.
Was ist jetzt da drüben los? Das lässt sich nicht erkennen. Der Ball war im Aus.
Throw in Bayern.
Einwurf für die Bayern.
First touch for the
Da ist Rübancic,
substitute.
über dessen Aufgabe ich im Moment noch nichts sagen kann. Sobel. Ah, die Schotten sind am
Zobel,
Mann.
again, just
Sehr schwer
gets
angekommen.
no change whatsoever out of Alec MacDonald.
Spielerisch
A real
auseinandernehmen,
Lionheart of a
wenn man sie besiegen
footballer.
will. Und das scheint dem FC Bayern heute nicht zu gelingen. Alles spricht gegen sie, besonders durch die Tatsache, dass jetzt auch noch Paul Breitner in der Kabine ist, verletzt.
Free kick Bayern.
Schulze
Late
verwöhnt gar
challenge
nicht,
from
dass
Tommy McLean.
Francescon diese Zweikämpfe
Less than
abpfeift.
convinced by the
Freistoß
referee's
für
decision.
Bayern.
Taken
Wird
quickly,
wiederholt.
too
Der
quickly.
Ball muss 1-2 Meter
Says tonight's
zurück
referee.
ins Mittelfeld gelegt werden.
Beckenbauer gets a second chance. Very similar to the first ball.
Dann Hoeneß
And the
war
first
das.
real save of any note. It's Uli Hoeneß.
Auf
Lost his
McLeod
marker.
Gefahr.
The final effort doesn't really trouble Peter
Nach
McLeod.
genau einer halben Stunde.
More alarmingly was the way he was allowed to get his shot away though. Rangers can't afford complacency. 2 goals to the good at the moment. I find this one hard to believe that it's actually 40 years
Die
ago.
Schotten wollen angreifen. Smith ist wieder mit vorne.
Dave Smith, offside flag. This is another Rangers move come to a premature end. We've gone beyond the half-hour mark. And McLean in space.
Das ist ein
It's threaded one between the two defenders. And the run was quite electrifying, wasn't it?
Vor Billy Johnson
Well,
an den Ball
he's
gekommen.
known as Wee Bud,
Eckball für die Glasgow
but he
Rangers.
could well have been a sprinter.
Ja, weiß, wie
He
dicht er
covers
am
the
Ring
yards incredibly
Ehrlicher
quickly,
Mann, dieser Willie Johnson.
really putting pressure on the two defenders. So disappointed he didn't get his shot away. Tommy McLean, who of course was later to serve the club in an assistant manager's capacity. Not the best of deliveries, but the pressure's still on. Johnson again, who was first to react. But the ball eventually through with the
selbst in
goalkeeper.
der Abwehr, meine Damen und Herren, Sie sehen es selbst, sind die Bayern nicht
This game has been
völlig
played
intakt.
at
Viele, viele
a furious
Unsicherheiten
pace and
und Fehlpässe.
no quarter after given by either side, but this match probably epitomised the way Rangers went about their whole campaign that
Sandy Jardine,
1972 season in Europe. Determination and no shortage of flair going forward either. And the powerful presence of Steen up top, complemented by the wizardry of Willie Johnston and Derek Johnson, who's played as a striker earlier in the
Johnny
tournament,
Hansen,
also on the score sheet, including the goal against Torino in the quarter-final. But he's back playing as a centre-back tonight.
Schwarzenbeck.
Schwarzenbeck.
Da
And
wäre
again,
Müller
Johnson,
gewesen,
as I
aber
mentioned,
zwei
at the heart of the
Shots
Rangers
am
defence, combining
Smith, der Libero, und
with Dave
Colin
Smith
Jackson, der
and Peter
Vorstopper.
McLeod to just keep the Bayern side at bay. Free kick against Willie Johnston. quarter-final, yep. Torino, 1-1, away from home. Derek Johnson on target, as I mentioned. And in the second leg, slightly smaller crowd. And turned up for the Bayern game, 75,000. So Alex McDonald's goal separates the sides. But it's McDonald who's got some defending to do just now against Honus. Dave Smith. A real thoroughbred of a footballer. And this time Willie Johnson's giving it away. Müller wanted it. McCloy more determined. Decent ball in from Schneider. Tries to release Müller. McCloy with a fisted clearance. McCloy just thumps it to the heart of the Bayern defence. Very effective tactic. And I think we can all recall the night in Barcelona. Something very similar. It's very profitable for Rangers. This time, Parlin is held off by Honus. Müller gets a second chance to control it. Dave Smith with the clearing header. Helped out the danger area by Willie Matheson. As Schneider tries to find some space in the Rangers rear guard.
Einwurf für die Bayern.
Jackson, the big Aberdonian, towering to clear the header. And Dave Smith, again, so aware, so alert, and a touch that's quite sublime. And Alec McDonald, his barrel chest to good effect there, wasn't it? Well, the final ball too heavy for Willie Johnston. Now Willie Johnston, born in Maryhill. He's been at Ibrox now since 1964. He signed. 18 years. A Ranger at the time of this epic semi-final against Bayern. Bayern just never really got going, and I'm sure the reason for that is the way that Rangers were so determined. Rybacek, the substitute. Hansen the layoff. And of course the pass back 40 years ago was a legal tactic, albeit that Peter McCloy had to look rather lively. I think it goes down to confidence in your goalkeeper from young Parlin. Derek Johnson. You must remember the goal against Celtic in the League Cup final as a 16-year-old climbing over Billy McNeil to end a barren spell of trophies for Rangers. It's Derek, the other Derek this time, Parlin in the wars, but it falls kindly for Rangers. Some defending to do yet for Bayern. And they tidy things up with half-time approaching. Zobel wants it back from Uli Honus and gets it. Well, he tries to outpace Derek Johnson, the big Dundonian. Oh, he had absolutely nothing of it, did he? McCloy, 6'4", and using every inch of it. Dave Smith. Again, turning the Bayern defence. It's a wonderful visionary delivery from Smith, isn't it? He's taking all the pressure off his defenders. Fully 70 yards. cut out midfield. He just caresses the ball. And Willie Johnson happy to win the throw. Jardin, who opened the scoring. Meyer's come a long way. He does well. Now Sepp Meier went on to be the goalkeeping coach of Bayern before retiring in 2008. Müller. Now, is this the same striker with 68 goals for West Germany and 62 appearances for his country? He's been largely anonymous tonight. Meanwhile, the Rangers striker Colin Steen, a very lonely figure, offside clearly against him. Here's Beckenbauer. Again, Rangers defend in numbers. Everyone behind the ball. I suspect the half-time team talk from Messrs Wallace and Worrell will be fairly simple. Give us another 45 of the same. And the free kick goes well astray. I'm sure by this time a large percentage of the 80,000 crowd in Ibrox wondering, which bus do I get for Barcelona? 1-1 from the first leg, remember. 2-0 Rangers at the moment. That means a 3-1 aggregate scoreline. Have Rangers in the box seat to contest the final, which we know they did, and they did with distinction. This, unbelievably, is the only 90 minutes footage of this epic fixture. It's been retrieved for you by the team at Rangers TV, and the only commentary was in German. Well, we had to do something like that, didn't we? 2-0 Rangers. No free kick. Or rather there is, after the referee has a check with his assistant, Tommy McLean, claiming he was impeded first. And again, Peter McCloy at the post, happy to gather, although a bit of pushing, sees the free kick awarded in favour of Rangers. And we've talked unusual between Smith and McCloy. There's another one that you don't see very often in the modern game. The goalkeeper leaves the 18-yard box to retrieve the pass, brings it back in and immediately thumps it along. It's back with Smith again. For Jackson. Colin Jackson still involved at Ibrox in the matchday hospitality. Jardin has a chance here for a third. And the effort lofted high over the crossbar. Willie Matheson, affectionately known as One Fit, because of his regular use of his left foot rather than his right. And this time, lofts it high over the crossbar. Bayern, well, could be an interesting team talk in the visiting dressing room. I'm guessing it was. Chasing the game as half-time approaches. 2 down. However, with the pedigree that this Bayern side have, Rangers, quite rightly, can take and didn't take anything for granted. They're always in search of the third. Willie Johnson, a sensational campaign. Equally comfortable out in that wide area, straight through the middle as a striker, or even in the old-fashioned inside forward days, he would have given you a good shift. Sandy Jardin wins the header. It's not that far away either.
neben das Tor in das Tor gesenkt hätte.
And Derek Parlin, his second goal, the icing in the cake so far. His first, of course, Rangers second.
Ersatzmann für Breitner.
As the substitute, Riebercheck. Parlin again. So aggressive. In fact, it's Derek Johnston this time with the free kick. Colin Jackson. That cuff in the palm of the hand is Dennis Law style. Skipper Smith. To the heart of the Bayern defence, Meyer claims. Beckenbauer, not a happy chap, is he? That tells you the frustration experienced by Bayern as the half-time whistle blows. It's Rangers 2, Bayern 0. Still some work to be done though. Dave Smith leads his troops off the field. A dream start through Sandy Jardin, and the lead doubled through Derek Parlin. Get your passports out, Barcelona beckons. Barcelona, here we come, chanted the Ibrox faithful, and they weren't kidding either. 2-0 at the moment on the evening against Bayern Munich in the second leg of this European Cup Winners' Cup semi-final. One's about from the first time of asking. Rangers destined for that final against Moscow Dynamo. Some work to do though. At 2-0, the last thing you want to do is concede and give Bayern any encouragement for the second period. They have the free kick here. Beckenbauer tries to get his troops going, engineer an opening. Back with Beckenbauer again. On the move is Hoeneß. Slips away from his marker. That's a decent effort from Uli Hoeneß. Gets it on target. Peter McCloy showing all his qualities there. It's a bright start, second period for Bayern. It's going to be Zobel. Away by Smith. And McDonald just alleviates some pressure. It doesn't stick though. Bayern starting the second period brightly. Now Beckenbauer himself takes an awkward bobble. And again, Peter McCloy. Good safe pair of hands. Parlin on target in 22 minutes of that first period. Johnston gives him a yard of a start. And comes within an inch of keeping that one in play. It lands so awkwardly in the advertising hoardings. He was going full pelt. Got beyond Hansen. Couldn't apply the handbrake. He has won the free kick though, impeded by Hansen. Johnston back to his feet now. And of course, we all know the contribution he made in the final. In fact, it was a sensational campaign for Bud. We'll just reprise some of it shortly, as Jackson wants it in the act. Free kick awarded against Rangers. Colin Steen getting too tight to Sepp Maier. Sepp Maier, he was 28 years old in the peak of his form at that period. Going back to 1972. Müller in a very deep role. Willie Johnston on the wing is the chant from the Rangers fans now. We're getting the full repertoire. And you can guarantee there's a shooting chance here. And the final effort from Schwarzenbeck, well off target. But to get to that Nou Camp final, there'll be Rangers fans trains, planes, automobiles, hitching lifts, and by all accounts, some never even came back. They were still celebrating and refused to leave Spanish shores. However, back to the action here. This German side not prepared to give anything up. Schneider. Timely challenge from Dave Smith. Last touch off the German. And Willie Matheson with the throw. Now McLean. I think the flag may have gone on against Alec MacDonald there. That was a trademark of the former Rangers midfield player. Just showing exactly what he brought to the party. Mid to front. He was only 24 years of age back in 1972. Alec MacDonald, not the tallest. And another unsung hero is here, Willie Matheson. Late challenge. Tommy McLean catching the substitute. Rybacek. Parlin with the header. Beckenbauer. Schwarzenbeck, the outball. Touch is heavy. Now Derek Johnston for Willie Johnston. And Collinstein. Willie Johnson. Well, we're getting the showboating from the wee man now. The fans are loving it. And Willie just wants that ball all to himself. He just loves to step up to the plate on the big occasion. The driven effort deflected clear for Bayern. Matheson again. Leaves it to McLean. Collinstein with the sweatband hacked down in the challenge from Schwarzenbeck. And Collinstein, to this day, still the last Scottish internationalist to score a hat-trick in the dark blue of Scotland. He did it against Cyprus in 1969. Free kick Rangers, a very dangerous area. Clever ball, and Matheson holding off the first challenge, but the clearance knocks it behind for the corner. As you may remember, back in 72, the cars for the less able allowed to come round and park on the fringe of the playing surface. Wonderful view they must have enjoyed. McLean headed away in front of his goalkeeper by Schwarzenbeck. Chased by Steen, support from Jarden. Now Sandy Jarden has been absolutely outstanding in everything he did in this match so far. Meyer. Jackson. Colin Jackson, who was to miss the final in Barcelona through injury, as did Ronnie McKinnon, who was part of the squad. Alec MacDonald. Picked up by Zubel. Now Hansen. Zubel again showing for it. Layoff from Gerd Müller. Müller again drops off. He really has been given very limited opportunities to show his qualities tonight, Gerd Müller. Now Franz Beckenbauer. The Kaiser. Schwarzenbeck, he's closer this time. And again, Peter McCloy will tell you he had the measure. Good communication in the Rangers defence there. And Schwarzenbeck from distance, chancing his hand. Rangers started the campaign, of course, with a visit across to France and Stade Rennes, finishing 1-1 away from home. Willie Johnston on target, and Rangers winning 1-0 at Ibrox. Solitary goal from Alex McDonald. It's Johnson with a chance for Rangers, and Meyer, in his positional sense, perhaps making the save look easier than it actually was. And of course there was the big controversial night in Lisbon against Sporting Club in the second round, when it was deemed that Rangers had been eliminated on penalty kicks after the teams had tied 6 each. However, as Rangers come forward again, Willie Johnston, it took some media and Rangers officials to refresh the rules of the game to the referee from Holland that night, and Rangers were actually awarded the tie on the away goals rule. Next up, it was Torino at Ibrox in the quarter-final. Bayern Munich to the sword, as we watched just now. And then, as you say, the rest is history. Well, again, Bayern not in the same wavelength as Alec McDonald for Tommy McLean. Oh, such a dangerous ball. Scooped away at the heart of the Bayern defence by Schwarzenbeck, as Rangers go in search of a third. As we know, it didn't come, but it wasn't for the lack of effort. Rybarczyk, the clearing header. Clever play, Derek Parlane. McLean. Parlane again, getting in a very advanced area. McLean gets the break of the ball. Oh, it's a clever chip. Headed away Schwarzenbeck, but not convincingly. McDonald chases. Again, Rangers happy to start it all over again. Jackson. Tommy McLean, furious about the quality of the final ball from his teammate there. Well, given away, McDonald wanted it early. Now a chance for Colin Steen. Tommy McLean as well. A late and crunching challenge from the substitute, Rybarczyk, who replaced Paul Breitner first period. Rangers have the free kick. Tommy McLean, he also made free kicks a bit of an art for him. A real student of the game as a player and a manager, of course, later. Bayern struggling to get out their own half at the moment. Handball against Sandy Jardin. Parling gets the touch as the ball goes through to Peter McCloy. Johnson again says, "You got your spikes with you." Oh, wonderful play from Johnson. Looked as if he'd been clipped, but the referee gives the advantage to Bayern. Now Hoeneß and Sandy Jardin. Shows you don't have to be physical to be a defender. It's all about timing. And Sandy Jardin's timing, with the game less than a minute old, could not have been better this evening.
Und wieder Willi
40
Johnson.
years ago, April 1972. As we
Da hat
watch,
Franz Beckenbauer
we
durchgezogen.
can roll back the
Vor den
years.
10, da gibt es eine
Rangers 2 up
Privatrangelei,
against
hoffentlich
Bayern
das
Munich.
nichts Ernstes. Rebarczyk, Koppenhöfer, da ist Beckenbauer. Schießen.
Now Beckenbauer took a kind of awkward
Aber es fehlt
bounce in
einfach
front of him.
das Quäntchen Glück im Strafraum einmal in guter Situation an den
As
Ball
Beckenbauer
zu kommen
comes
und dann
forward
zu
to
schießen. Ein 2:1
try and find a way back
wird
into
den
this
Bayern
tie.
hier neuen Aufschwung geben. Sie kämpfen hier mit dem Mute der Verzweiflung, aber ohne Chance bisher, ohne eine einzige reelle Chance. Und ohne ihre
Willie Matheson,
mannschaftliche Linie. Schade, dass
not
die
happy
Bayern,
in
das ist das Pech der Bayern, dass sie in den letzten Wochen
the
gefallen
challenge
hat, hier im Ibrox Park
from
Stadium
Schneider.
so bedauerlich fortsetzen.
McCloy, Jardine,
Franz
Jackson,
Beckenbauer, der auch
Smith,
hier in
Matheson,
Glasgow ein
McLean,
hochbewusster
Parlane,
Mann ist. Er wird
McDonald,
durch die Schreie der
Willie
Zuschauer
Johnston,
nahezu
Derek Johnson,
verhöhnt.
Colin
Das
Steen,
hat keiner der Bayern-Spieler verdient.
on the verge of legendary status.
Und auch die
A month later for the
Schotten
final,
wahrhaftig nicht weltmeisterlich.
Alfie Conn finding himself on the side
Rot,
through injury
Müller,
to Derek Parlane. As the effort from Bayern over the top again. Alfie Conn took his place in that final in Barcelona. Otherwise, it was very much as you were in the side. It's Peter McCloy. Sterling work tonight. Clean sheet against Bayern Munich at Ibrox. That's one he'll
Torwart McCloy
recall
hat
for
jetzt
years to come.
Schwierigkeiten mit den Abstößen. Im Gegensatz zur ersten Halbzeit, als er über den ganzen Platz bis in die Arme von Sepp
We've
Meier
just played over the hour mark.
Jetzt wurde sein Abstoß abgefangen, aber da hat er den Ball wieder.
On the bench for Rangers, they have a German goalkeeper in the form of Gerhard Neef. Unfortunately, Jerry Neef, as he was known, passed away a couple of years ago, but
Rot läuft
he will
mit
have
nach
had
vorne.
great memories of his
Beckenbauer,
time at Ibrox and that 72 campaign.
da wird der Raum zu eng und die Chance ist dahin.
Steen back defending. Fitness levels for Rangers, absolutely sensational. You have to remember too, this game being played in mid-April 1972.
Ein Foul im Spiel,
It's a
ganz
crude
klar
challenge, but not
erkennbar.
spotted by the
Dennoch
referee.
jetzt Konterzug
And Rangers
der
look to hit in the
der
counter.
Rangers.
McLean to
Rebarczyk,
chase. Ibrox. Well, McLean's picked his pocket. Down he goes in the challenge. Bayern happy to take the throw.
Ich muss sagen, dieser junge Mann, dieser Rebarczyk geht hier mit viel Selbstbewusstsein
Now
an seine
Beckenbauer.
Aufgaben und er hat bisher noch keinen Fehler gemacht. Schwarzenbeck,
Schwarzenbeck. The deflection off Smith. Willie Johnson again. Gets it to Alec McDonald. Matheson on the move. Willie Johnson. Such a great outball for Rangers. This time runs into trouble.
Obel, aber der Ball im Aus.
And Zubul can't keep it in play.
Beckenbauer.
Rangers fans with an olay for every pass that hits the target for the home side, and every pass from the white-shirted Germans gets a round of boos. Tommy McLean just wants the pace of the game to slow down momentarily. He knows the value of keeping the ball.
Die Schotten, die es in den letzten Minuten
Dave
etwas
Smith.
ruhiger haben angehen lassen, werden jetzt von ihren 80.000 Anhängern aufgefordert.
Of course, John Gregg was back to
skip
skipper Rangers in that Barcelona final.
Dabei war zu beobachten, dass die Abseitsfalle der Bayern einige Male recht gut funktionierte.
Colin Jackson and Derek Parlane were the two players from this semi-final against Bayern
Die Schotten sind einfach härter,
who didn't make the starting
Zweikampf,
side.
auch wenn Francescon jetzt ein Foul gesehen hat. Wenn ich recht sehe,
Alfie
hat er
Cohen
die
and
Hand gehoben, deutet
John
an,
Gregg.
indirekter Freistoß.
The replacements. But at 2-0, Rangers had to maintain the work ethic
Müller Nummer
that
9,
they'd shown from the first whistle.
Rot Nummer 6,
And you see the determination there.
Koppenhöfer,
They do not
doch
want to
Edgar
concede.
Schneider. Indirekt
Steen, Smith, Jardine, all on the wall.
Rot und Zobel.
Parlane as well. Beckenbauer, more than capable from this range. That's tugged well wide of the target. Well, you look to the German body language just now. They don't look too happy. And the substitute, Liebercheck, with his hands in his hips there. Frustration coming to the fore for Bayern. Late challenge as Peter McCloy launches another clearance.
2:0 der Rangers auszugleichen. Noch 20 Minuten.
Another free kick to Bayern.
Zobel, aber der Ball im Aus.
Quickly taken, who knows the target. Forced out the 18-yard area. Zobel curls it near post, but again, Peter McCloy, confidence sky high. And Johnson again forcing the error. Clips it beyond his marker. Hansen forces him wide. And Willie Johnson, almost from a more recent movie, 19, it was as if he had been shot by a sniper as he went beyond the retreating German defender. Check a pulse, Tommy. Tommy Craig, again out the Rangers dugout. They weren't known as technical areas in those days. Over to administer some treatment to Willie Johnston. It's Tommy McLean with the corner.
Jetzt aber Eckball durch McLean. Und da ist er wieder, nimmt den Ball an.
Well, that came close. A well worked corner from Rangers. Willie Johnson back after treatment. Short corner. McLean's ball in the mix. Coming close to the third. Now it's Bayern's turn to hit in the counter. Beckenbauer in support of Roth. And now Zobel. Rainer Zobel, ball in the box. Headed away by Derek Johnston. Jardine. Here's Colin Steen. Willie Matheson. That's wonderful play from Rangers. Not just from the way they went about the defensive job, but the way they pass it. Carving open the Bayern defence. As Willie Johnson looking for the free kick that's not awarded. Bit of a lecture for Sandy Jardine for a late challenge. His temper starts to run high at Ibrox. We're exactly halfway through the second period. Rangers enjoying the 2-goal advantage against Bayern Munich. Down goes Schneider. Final warning perhaps for Willie Matheson. Taken quickly Beckenbauer. Müller can't turn his defender. So Rangers heading for their third ever European final. So far failed to lift silverware in their previous attempts. However, as we know, the date indelibly stamped in our minds, the 24th of May 1972, the venue, Camp Nou, Barcelona. And again, McLeod takes charge of proceedings. And the opponents that night in Barcelona, Moscow Dynamo, as Rangers lifted the European Cup Winners' Cup. This semi-final, second leg tie, a real challenge for Rangers as Bayern Munich were heading, quite rightly so, for their title as Kings of Europe. And again, you just have to look at the way that Bayern haven't been allowed into this game tonight at all. Largely down to the way Rangers have stood tall in the face of real quality opposition. Steen again leading the line with distinction. But for me, this man, Willie Johnston, was the absolute jewel in the crown of a stunning Rangers side. Jardine wins another corner. The movement in the Rangers side, absolutely first class. All happy to take the ball into feet. As Johnson flights in the corner. Tommy McLean falls for him eventually. He wanted it first time in the left foot volley. Closed down quickly by Rybacek. Got it back in his right foot in the final effort over the crossbar. Rangers are 20 minutes away from booking their place in the 1972 European Cup Winners' Cup final. I'm sure these players, 40 years after the event, will get together at every opportunity, reminisce about big nights like this at Ibrox, and recall the heroics they delivered. None more so than this youngster, Derek Parlane, still only 18 years of age, with a crucial second goal. He's got to come back and get a challenge in here on the advancing Kuppenhofer. Uli Hoeneß. Again, 5 blue-shirted defenders protecting the goalkeeper. Frank Zubel off target with the driven effort. Now it's all about tired bodies, tired minds. As we count down the clock, the Rangers fans have got behind the team tonight in fantastic voice and numbers, and really intimidated the German giants. Beckenbauer, it's hard to imagine you could intimidate someone who went on to win 103 caps and carried the nickname the Kaiser. But he himself, after this fixture, in the cool, calm dressing room of Ibrox, didn't just wish Rangers well to win it, he stated they would. And of course, no one argued with him, and he got it 100% right. So important Rangers don't give any encouragement at this stage of proceedings to Bayern. 2-0 Rangers. Steen, oh, wonderful run from Alec McDonald. He had just gone in a bit early. And Beckenbauer tidies up for Bayern. Colin Steen with 2 goals. in both ties against Sporting Club of Lisbon in the second round. Would love a goal tonight, and Johnson would love to supply the pass that did so as he wins a corner, almost out of nothing, doubling up against them at every opportunity. Willie Johnson gathers the ball from the young ball boy. Rangers electing not to send too many players forward at this stage of proceedings. More intent in protecting the 2-goal advantage. McLean again with his sights and his range off target. Clever lay down from Colin Steen though. And Willie Henderson was also on target in that match against Sporting in the away game, which saw Rangers actually lose on penalties that didn't matter because the away goals saw them through to Torino in the quarter-final. Derek Parlane gets the first caution of the evening. Derek Parlane on his European debut. He's got a goal that he can recall like it was yesterday, and having spoken to Derek myself, he even looks as if it was just yesterday. The Peter Pan of Rangers Football Club, Derek Parlane, cautioned in this semi-final second leg tie. 15 minutes of this fixture remaining. 2-0 Rangers. Barcelona, here we come again, is the cry.
Da sind sie wieder, die Zuschauer. 80.000 Ranger-Fans, zurzeit aktiver als ihre Mannschaft. Keiner von ihnen würde ein Celtic-Spiel besuchen, es sei denn, die Rangers spielen dort.
Oh, excellent play from Parlane again. He would be a candidate for man of the match. I don't think many would argue with that. Clever footwork, Colin Steen as well. Wonderful front play from Steen. Alec MacDonald within an inch of the third, and Tommy McLean fails to capitalise. Here comes Riebercheck. Is there any way that Bayern could get back into the match? Rangers stubborn, determined, professional and focused. We're absolutely determined not to give Bayern any opportunity or any encouragement to get back in this match. Smith. And again, there is the magician, Willie Johnson, who immediately takes the ball into Bayern territory. I maybe just fancied a rest for a moment. I think that sums up the confidence in the Rangers camp. That takes your breath away. Willie Johnson, reputations, Breitner, Beckenbauer, Meyer, Müller, irrelevant. Willie Johnson has the audacity to suggest this borders on easy for Rangers. Now Colin Jackson. McDonald with the layoff, support from Willie Matheson. McDonald again. Takes it into the corner. A bit premature for this one, Alex. Well, he knew exactly what he wanted to achieve there. Alex McDonald signed from St Johnstone in 1968, almost matching Willie Johnson for the way he goes about his business. Contempt for opponents. This is Ibrox. This is our domain. It's McLean with the corner. Steen again wins the header. Off the line. Alec MacDonald denied the third. Meyer beaten all ends up. The clearing header protecting Sepp Meyer. However, the free kick had already been awarded against Colin Steen. It wouldn't have counted, but Alec MacDonald would have loved the opportunity to have celebrated a goal. Here is Parlin again, tries to do it all himself. Down in the challenge from the backtracking Gerd Muller. Muller has a word with the Rangers youngster as tempers start to fray. Colin Steen at the heart of it, trying to calm down the Bayern players. He suggests Muller makes himself a bit invisible. It's not something you see very often either. Willie Johnston asking teammates to be calm. Parley needs some treatment. I think they're suggesting just milk this as long as you can. Let's kill another minute or so. We're 2-0 up. Does anyone know the temperatures in Barcelona in May? Free kick Rangers. Parlin is back to his feet. Peter McCloy will be thinking about the Ambrosal there. Barcelona. The date, 24th of May, already ring-fenced in the calendars and diaries of Rangers fans worldwide. Colin Jackson communicating with Gerd Muller. I'm not convinced that the big bomber's German is all it could be, but he got his message across. Steen the target, and his looping header is wide of the left-hand post of Sepp Meyer. 9 minutes remaining. It's the European Cup Winners' Cup second leg semi-final. Rangers enjoying a 3-1 aggregate advantage against the giants of German football, Bayern Munich. And again, it's the desire of Schwarzenbeck supporting his strikers, driving into the Rangers area. But the final effort, Hansen getting in there, just lofted wide of the target. Steen climbs, but the ball breaks back into Rangers territory. Immediately returned by Matheson. For Alec MacDonald. One for Steen to chase. And Beckenbauer. Sepp Meyer came short. Beckenbauer wanted him to stay. However, take nothing away from the way that Colin Steen forced the error. He acknowledges Meyer coming out to take care of business. But it's fair to say Beckenbauer was in a flap because of the presence of Colin Steen. Now McLean with the corner. 2 first half goals. The difference between the sides. Johnson comes short. Koppenhöver defends, and the ball back safely with Sepp Meyer. Rangers fans all round the stadium anxiously glancing at their watches, wanting the final whistle to be sooner rather than later. There's the substitute again, Riebercheck. Now Beckenbauer. Riebercheck showing for it. Kept in play. Again, Rangers defend well, and Johnston happy to hold it up and wins the throw-in. Amazing to think 40 years on, the success that Bayern Munich have enjoyed over that period, and yet the only commentary available on this epic fixture was the German variety as Rangers marched on to the Barcelona final. It's been wonderful to reminisce of the campaign. Some Rangers legends matching anything in European football. And Dave Smith again, the heart of the Rangers defence. A player from a generation way ahead of his time. Here's Smith now. Johnston signalling intent. Five minutes remaining. The French dispatched in round one. The Portuguese pummeled in round two. The Italians dismissed in the quarter-final. And the Germans literally put to the sword in the second leg at Ibrox. In the first leg, a fortnight ago, early April 1972, it was all Bayern. Rangers defended as if their very lives depended upon it. They came away from the Greenwald Stadion in Munich honours even, 1 goal apiece. They knew the task that lay ahead when Bayern came to Ibrox. They wanted an early goal. They got it with the match 40 seconds old. Sandy Jardine curling the ball beautifully beyond Sepp Maier in the Bayern goal. Derek Parlane in the side tonight, given the responsibility to mark the man who won the 1967 final. For Bayern, Frank Roth decided he had to show an attacking quality as well, drilling home Rangers' second with the match 22 minutes old. The main goal threat for Bayern, this man, Gerd Müller, who went on to score 398 career goals for the German Giants, never giving an opportunity to trouble Peter McCloy in this second leg semi-final tie. It's Rangers who are heading for the Barcelona final. Moscow Dynamo lay in wait, having beaten Dynamo Berlin in the other semi-final. It took them to penalties to decide the winner though. Both semi-final ties ending 1 goal apiece, as Rangers allow minds to drift to the third final in the history of this football club. McCloy thumps it long. Again, Dave Smith just nips in there to get a touch. Away from Schneider. Jardine. Steen happy to drift into an offside area, waste another valuable second or so. Now Beckenbauer. That sums up the German evening. Restricted to shots from distance, pressure on the ball at every opportunity,
bereits verloren,
Every Ranger
als sie
tonight
durch dieses unglückliche
in those blue
Weitungstor
shirts,
nach einer Minute mit
hearts
0:1
pumping,
im Rückstand lagen.
chest puffed
Alles
out,
durfte ihnen passieren, nur das
proud
nicht.
to have represented this club and book their place in the Barcelona final. Camp Nou, 24th of May 1972.
Dazu kam noch, dass
2-0
die
Rangers
schottische Mannschaft, die
as we
Glasgow
head
Rangers,
to the final minute of the 90.
ihren Gegner in zahllosen
Everyone a
Zweikämpfen
hero.
beherrschten, so wie es
Derek
noch
Johnson
sehr
again,
besonders
showing
in der
real
Abwehr
composure.
gab's für die Bayern
18 years
kaum
of
eine Chance.
age at the date of this fixture.
Colin Steen,
Quite stunning. Now here's Steen. Squeezed away Beckenbauer. 90 minutes have been played. The Rangers fans want the final whistle. Steen peeling off to a midfield role.
Steen,
Into the corner for Parlane to chase.
Wastenbeck gegen Derek Johnson. Schneider, war auf keinen Fall eine Verstärkung in dieser Mannschaft.
Ball out of play, last touch coming
Nein,
off
diesmal wirft
Kopenhofer.
der FC Bayern. Derek Johnson hat den Ball zuletzt berührt.
Tonight's performance from Rangers,
Etwa 30 Sekunden.
everyone a hero, and I'm sure they could have asked for nothing more
Zuschauer sind begeistert. Wen wundert das?
as
Ihre
Rangers enjoy the
Mannschaft
2-goal
hat
advantage.
hier 2:0 gewonnen
McLean.
und zieht in das
Is there going to be a
Endspiel um
third?
den Europapokal. Der
He's certainly gone the
Pokal
scenic
wieder ein,
route
während
and just
Bayern
runs into
München
traffic.
innerhalb einer Woche seine Chancen im
We're deep
DFB-Pokal
in injury time now.
verspielt hat, 1:5 in Köln. Und heute Abend
Willie
auch
Johnson, who
aus dem
sat in the ball just
Wettbewerb
minutes
des
ago,
Europapokals der
takes it to the
Pokalsieger
corner,
verabschiedet.
dispatches it
Bleibt den Bayern
behind
noch
the
die
goal.
Meisterschaft, eine
He knows
Aufgabe,
it's
auf
job
die sie
done.
sich jetzt ganz konzentrieren werden. Aber ob es gelingen wird, wer die angeschlagene,
Setmeyer.
erschöpfte Mannschaft heute Abend gesehen
Disappointment this
hat, der wird
time
daran zweifeln. Schon am
for the legendary
Samstag
goalkeeper.
kommt das schwere Spiel beim
He knows his side have been well
einem
beaten tonight.
Angstgegner für den FC Bayern. Die Spieler haben vielleicht
Long,
noch nicht
deep
mehr die
delivery.
Kraft, diese
Dave
schweren
Smith
Gänge
picks it up for
mitzunehmen.
Rangers. We're deep in injury time.
Ulo Lattek hat in diesem
And indeed, the
zweiten
final
Halbzeit
whistle
schwere
blows.
Arbeit vor sich.
Dave Smith, the Rangers skipper, gives the ball to the referee. It's finished at Ibrox. 2-0 Rangers, 3-1 on aggregate. Barcelona is next stop for Jock Wallace and Willie Waddle's side. Goals from Jardine and Parlane on his European debut. It's finished Rangers 2, Bayern 0.